I asked ChatGPT what were the top 10 stocks to buy right now, and it had some very interesting answers. So in this video, I'm going to break down each of the 10 stocks, whether they're good or whether they're not. I'm also going to give you my personal top 5, which I would argue is very comparable to this list. Let's go ahead and get right into it. The first stock on here is Apple. I really don't think I need to explain Apple. I own Apple. You probably already own Apple. That's not news. Warren Buffett has 50% of his $100 and some odd billion in Apple. Okay, we know what they are. We're going to go ahead and move to the next one. Amazon is on this list. Now, I have some very candid thoughts about Amazon. I'm not super excited about the company. I've been saying for the last 2 years, it's been kind of blah, with the exception of right now where it's up 45% in the last 6 months. So I'm not high on it. I still hold Amazon. I'm not the biggest buyer of Amazon. I think right now there's a lot of tech hype. I think Amazon is caught into it, but it's not a bad pick. Not a bad pick by ChatGPT. Number 3 here is Alphabet, aka Google. I think we talked a lot about them as well. I'm a big fan of that company. I've owned it for a while now. It was on my stocks that were a discount that I did maybe 5 or 6 weeks ago inside members only. So I'm a big buyer of Google. I think they're, again, still at a discount. I would still continue to snap up shares, and I did just a few weeks ago. So Google, check mark there. Right now, I would say that ChatGPT is 3 for 3. The next one they have on their list is Microsoft. Another company that I think is obvious. We talk about it all the time. They are going through some legal issues with the Activision acquisition. Acquisition is a game publisher. You know, Microsoft already owns Xbox. They're going through some things there, but I'm a buyer of Microsoft. I've said it's one of the best stocks and best companies, period. And I said that like 5 years ago. I'm still buying and still holding Microsoft. Now, here's where things start to get a little bit interesting. Number 5 here, they have Facebook, which is now known as Meta. I don't know why ChatGPT doesn't know that, but yeah, we'll get into that for another day. Now, Facebook is up significantly so far in 2023, but took some serious losses in 2022. Today, I am more confident in Meta than what I was honestly like 2 weeks ago before they had launched Threads. Now, I don't know what the legal ramifications are going to be for Threads. I don't know if Threads is going to be something that's going to be around long term. What I do know and what I can bank on is that Mark Zuckerberg knows how to kill other people's social media apps, and he also knows how to advertise off of it and use that data more effectively than any other social media platform. Twitter's ads were not good. They weren't. The only other company that has comparable ads is YouTube. That's the only other company that's gotten really good at social media and advertising. And I think Mark Zuckerberg has done this with Facebook, with Instagram, and at some point he's going to turn it on for Threads too. So that one, I mean, they had 100 million users within 5 days. 5 days. So that's going to be very interesting to see if it continues and where Twitter goes, because if Twitter goes away, then Threads is obviously going to be that dominant player. So very curious where it is. If I had to give this a rating from 1 to 10 for Meta, I'm at probably a 7.5, and it could go up to an 8 or 9 depending on how that particular part of the business does grow. Next here is Tesla. I think this is not a shock or a surprise. It makes a lot of sense. I think we can move on from that one. Now, here's where things get even more interesting for me, and probably where I first start to truly disagree. That is because they have Johnson & Johnson here at number 7. Johnson & Johnson healthcare company, they're actually going through some splits and breaking off the business into several different pieces. They had some legal controversies not too long ago. I'm not a fan of Johnson & Johnson at all. The only good thing about Johnson & Johnson is the fact that it was here for a very long time, I think more than 100 years if I'm not mistaken, and the fact that they paid a solid dividend. Okay. Right, the company is down over the last year, which is not acceptable at this point in time when the market is up 15% and you've got Tesla up 50% or whatever it is. You got Nvidia up 200%. Like, I mean, come on, right? Why am I investing in something just for a simple dividend to consistently lose money? Johnson & Johnson is what we call a laggard, meaning you're behind, okay? You're slow. Okay, and that's not what I'm about. Okay, I can invest for a long term. I'm okay with solid companies. I'm not 100% that Johnson & Johnson is one of those. Again, I've got 5 stocks. All 5 of them I think are way better than Johnson & Johnson, so stay tuned for that. All right, next one here they have is Visa. Visa, obviously, I think Visa is everywhere you want to be. I think that was their old slogan, if I'm not mistaken. Visa is actually quite solid. They're quite solid. In fact, let me go ahead and pull this chart up. They're up 9% in the last 6 months, and they're about 15, almost 16% in the last year. That's solid. That is not the greatest, stock in the world, but I think if you're looking for something that is aggressive, so you can say, I want Meta, I want Apple, I want something that's going to grow 20, 30% in, in my guess, my prediction, and I want something that's a little safer. I think Visa is one of those. They've been around for a while. They check all the boxes. They're financially healthy. I think that's one that I like. Okay, now I personally, actually no, I do own it. My wife and I have a joint account. We do own Visa. We've had it maybe 6 years now, and it's solid. Not the greatest stock I have in the world, but I will tell you this, and this is just a hint. ChatGPT didn't tell me this. Okay. FICO, F-I-C-O, is a stock that we had talked about in our video about Cash App and how you can buy stocks on there. That's a hint. Okay, that's one of the 5. I think it's way better than Visa, but I think Visa, if I would get this one a B+. Okay, all right. Next here, we've got number 9, JPMorgan Chase. No way I'm investing in JPMorgan. No way I'm investing in any bank right now. Now, I was somebody who was very high on banks and thought that banks were going to do quite well back in the beginning of 2022 because we knew interest rates were rising, and it didn't work. And it didn't work because not only were interest rates rising, we also thought we were going into recession, which we did not do. But because of that, banks started falling apart. We had in 2023 bank failures. JPMorgan is not on that list of bank failures, nor do I think they are close. But there are way better investments, I think, that are out there, both in the financial space and in the banking space, than JPMorgan right now. It's just it's not a sexy pick at all, but it's not one that I think will make you the most money. When I start to look at different investments and look at different stocks, my job is to say, you can put money in JPMorgan, or you can put your money in something else. And that is why I'm really comparing it to. And I think there are a lot of else's out there way better than JPMorgan. No shade to JPMorgan. Okay. All right. The last one here is Procter Gamble. Procter Gamble is one of what I would call probably the best, most consistent defensive stock. Their stock symbol is PG. They were very popular when people were hoarding toilet paper back in 2020. I ain't forgot about y'all. I have not forgot. Y'all are out there, and I'm still mad about it. But Procter & Gamble, again, it's kind of, I prefer Costco if I were to pick the two. Procter & Gamble, very solid, very slow as well. I think it is okay. This is another B- stock pick here if I were to choose. Now, from this entire list, obviously my favorite is really the top 5 in the tech space. So it would have been Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, maybe Tesla here, depending on how you want to rank them. I'm fine investing in those. I'm also fine investing in Visa if this were my own money. But as I mentioned, I have an entire video of stocks that I think are even better, and they are 5 that are doing quite well right now, all financially solid, and they are at a good price to get. So we want to make sure that you go out and check that video. That's the best thing that you can do to help out the channel. Talk to you later. Bye.